You know, as the father of two children who both completed college, I learned a very important lesson. No matter how much you save, probably won't be enough. However, thanks to several programs, families now have a variety of tools to help them save and invest to pay for that valuable education. Joining me to discuss this are two guests who are visiting San Diego for the annual conference of the College Savings Foundation. I'm joined by Roger Michaud, he's the chair of the organization, and Joyce Cerrito, who is an assistant research professor of the Take Charge America Institute at the University of Arizona. Welcome to San Diego, both of you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Roger, why don't you tell us a little bit about your organization?
Well, what we try to do every day as a group is promote college savings, preparing for that day coming up down the road where you're facing some dramatic costs.
And it's not getting any cheaper, is it?
No, in fact, college costs over the last 10 years have grown at 3 times the rate of inflation.
That's expensive. You do some very interesting work. I like the work you do, Joyce, because it kind of ties into this whole subject, but it deals with a lot of the disciplines and the process of educating people about managing their money.
Yes, we look at college students and the kind of financial behaviors that they develop, and more importantly, what contributes to the financial behaviors that they have. We believe that, like many of other behaviors, we have parents, we have work experience, we have a number of things that teach us how to be responsible. And in our work, we find the biggest factor are parents.
And sometimes that's not a good thing.
Well, it's interesting because parents can do wonderful things. They teach their children by modeling good behaviors, but they also teach them by modeling less good behaviors. And what we hope to see, and we do find in our work, is the young people who actually had parents who modeled good behaviors, who taught them well, actually do wonderful things. And so they know how to manage their money, but more importantly, they know how to think about the future and save for the future as well.
I saw some research that you've done recently, and it shows that young people today in high school getting ready for college are willing to accept more financial responsibility.
We like to think of it as college is a family affair, and I know that you've done some research to look at that as well.
Yeah, because I saw that report. Tell us a little bit about
absolutely. We found that coming out of this economic environment we just found ourselves in, that children seem to be observing the behaviors of their parents and want to take charge. Roughly 3/4 of the children that we surveyed fully expected to participate and to contribute towards their college education.
Let's talk about the tool that is used by a lot of families, increasingly being used by families, and that's something called the 529 plan. Explain what that is.
Yeah, the 529 plan is designed for to save most efficiently for college. Dollars go in after tax, they grow tax deferred. As long as those dollars are used for qualified expenses, tuition, room and board, and fees, those dollars come out tax-free.
And I know that sometimes people will set up an account like this when the child is very young, a baby. Hopefully, ideally, the sooner you get started, the better, right?
Yeah.
But what if the one particular child in the family decides, I don't want to go to college? What can be done with that money?
As the account owner, typically a parent or grandparents, you totally control the account. You have the ability to actually change the beneficiary, although you might have opened an account for your son Roger. If Roger heads in a different direction, you can change the beneficiary to another family member and help that child go to college as well.
I've heard of very often the parents who have been running it, if the kids go different directions, get scholarships, whether they decide to go back to college, they could be eligible for that as well, right?
Absolutely. You can actually take a penalty-free withdrawal equal to the value of a college scholarship if you're lucky enough to get one. But there are a lot of seniors that are thinking, I've got this money left over, I've got some time in my hands, I'm going to go back to school.
That's very good. The point of grandparents. Have you done any work on the role of grandparents? Because I'm a grandparent now, and I'm really aggressively working to put money aside for my grandkids and try to be a good role model for them as well. I think in a lot of families, that's important, isn't it?
It's more than important. When kids understand that you value education and saving for the future, that's what they learn. So this isn't just about money.
Right.
Okay? This is about looking towards the future. And when you have a valuable goal, like investing in an education, and your grandparents are telling you this is an important goal, and your parents are telling you this is an important goal, you begin to believe it is as well, and you act that way. So the expectations of people around you play a big role in what it is we believe is important.
I can imagine. Let's deal with one of those 4-letter words, debt. A lot of students coming out of college now are deeply burdened with that. And I know that by encouraging savings and investing, that could hopefully be reduced in the future.
Yeah, it's amazing when you look at the numbers. College debt now exceeds all credit card debt in the United States.
That's amazing.
$850 billion in student loans outstanding. Many students will graduate today with more than $100,000 in debt to begin paying. So getting started early makes the most sense, and investing systematically as much as you can will make a big difference years down the road.
Every state, by the way, I just want to touch on this real quick. Every state sponsors a 529 plan. Are people required to invest in the program in their state, or can they look outside?
Yeah, they can look outside. So really, there's a whole menu of over 100 different programs to choose from. Your state may offer additional benefits that you want to take into consideration, but you have a lot of choice, and you also have the ability to work with a financial advisor who can help you choose the right program.
Let me ask you both this final question to kind of wrap it up here. First with you, what sense do you have about the young people today that are going to college and using these tools to get there? Are they going to be better students as a result?
Well, that's an interesting question. When we look at this recession that happened, take a step back and think of people that grew up in the Great Depression. Okay? These young people have had an opportunity to see all kinds of behaviors come home to roost, as well as behaviors that should have been good behaviors kind of twist and turn. So I think of this generation of young people are prepared for the unexpected.
Yeah.
And in this day and age, you have to be prepared for the unexpected, and you have to be prepared to take responsibility yourself. And I think this is the generation that's going to show us how to do it.
Same thing, Roger. You feel the same way?
Absolutely. We found that through our surveys that parents are more committed than ever to putting money to work and save for college, and so are students. And I think that's a terrific combination.
Thanks for taking some time to be on the program. Enjoy your time out here, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks so much.